Dukes are members of the highest rank of the nobility in many European countries, and from the powerful Medici family of Renaissance Florence to the British aristocracy, throughout history, dukes have been known for their lavish lifestyles and impressive estates. However, even in modern times, there are some dukes who continue to hold significant wealth and influence. But do you know who these richest dukes are? Well, to save you this problem, we present you a list of the 12 richest dukes in the world. So without further ado, let's get started. At number 12, we have Rafael De Medina y Abascal, the 20th Duke of Feria from Spain. This 44-year-old duke was born in Madrid, Spain in 1978 to his father, the 19th Duke Rafael De Medina. When Rafael was just 23 years old in 2002, he succeeded his father and became the 20th Duke of Feria. The net worth of this duke is $2 million, and all this comes from his hard work. Apart from being a Spanish aristocrat and socialite, he is also a successful entrepreneur. In 2007, the duke founded a Spanish fashion brand called Scalpers, which specializes in men's clothing. Since its founding, the brand has spread to several countries, and now it generates around $1.1 million for the duke. In addition to this, he is a partner in a Spanish technology company called Pulseras Rojas, which develops and markets wearable technology devices, and this generates around $20,000. Our next royal also comes from Spain, and this is Luis Alphonse de Borbon, the Duke of Anjou, who ranked in the elite list of celebrities born in France. This duke comes from the royal house of Borbon. Duke was born on April 25, 1974, in Madrid, Spain, to Alfonso de Borbon, Duke of Anjou and Cadiz, and Princess Maria del Carmen. And being the eldest child, he became the Duke of Anjou after his father passed away in 1989. But despite being a part of the royal family, Luis Alphonse does not receive any official royal allowances or inherited any royal assets. However, the net worth of this 48-year-old duke is estimated to be around $2 million. Unlike other dukes, Luis Alphonse has worked in various companies, which provided him with a stable source of income. Apart from his work, he also has heavily invested in business in Spain, which is said to be making around $200,000. Next, we have a duke from Sweden who was once a commoner. This is Prince Daniel, Duke of Gotland, and he belongs to the royal house of Bernadotte. Born on September 15, 1973, he comes from a common Swedish family. However, he met the Crown Princess of Sweden, Victoria, in 2002 when he worked as her trainer. Olaf Daniel Westling became the Duke of Gotland when he married the princess in 2010. This 49-year-old former commoner now leads a royal life, and the prime example of this is his residence, Haga Palace, which spans 2,600 square meters and costs around $20 million. The Duke's net worth is around $3 million, and approximately $1.5 to $1.8 million of it comes from the Swedish government to maintain his royal duties. In addition to this, the Duke also runs multiple businesses in the country, including a chain of training centers called Balance Training. Next, we have a prince who comes from the royal house of Luxembourg-Nassau, and his name is Prince Guillaume, hereditary Grand Duke of Luxembourg. Prince Guillaume Jean-Joseph Marie was born on November 11, 1981, to Grand Duke Henry. However, in 2000, his father ascended the Luxembourg throne, and as the firstborn, he became the hereditary Grand Duke of his affluent nation. Now, being the hereditary Grand Duke, a huge responsibility rests on the prince's shoulders. In fact, he is responsible for managing multiple businesses of the royal family, and that's where a big portion of his wealth comes from, which is around $1 to $2 million. Adding to that, the prince also receives an annual allowance of around $500,000 from the government of Luxembourg for performing royal duties and managing royal assets. All this takes Prince Guillaume's net worth to be approximately $3.5 million. Coming up next is a duke who is the grandchild of King George V, and currently he is 30th in the line of succession to the British throne, and this is Richard, Duke of Gloucester. Richard was born on August 26, 1944, to Prince Henry, Duke of Gloucester. Duke Richard, an active and senior member of the royal family, is deeply committed to charitable causes and actively participates in various events in the royal circuit. And being a senior member, he lives in a multi-million-dollar lavish apartment at Kensington Palace that has been generously provided by the Crown Estate. Apart from this, he also gets paid from the late Queen's Fund, which is around $40,000 a year. All this takes the net worth of the prince to be around $2 million. And he has a personal wealth of around $15 million. But the main source of the Duke's income comes from the parliamentary annuity of $549,000 per year to carry out his official duties on behalf of the monarchy. At number 7, we have a royal who comes from the British royal family, and he is currently 13th in the line of succession to the British throne. This is Prince Edward, Duke of Edinburgh. This 59-year-old prince was born in 1964 to the late Queen of the United Kingdom, Elizabeth II, and in 2022, he was made Duke of Edinburgh on his 59th birthday. The net worth of the Duke is about $25 million. Unlike other British royals, the government doesn't give any allowance. Instead, the prince gets his income from sovereign grant to carry on their official royal duties. And to add on to that, their day-to-day expenses are paid by the Duchy of Lancaster, which comes from Queen Elizabeth's private income. Apart from this, the prince lives in Bagshot Park Estate, spanning 206,390 square meters, whose cost of maintenance is around $250,000 per year. Next, we have Prince Harry, who holds the title of Duke of Sussex. He is the younger son of King Charles, who is currently fifth in the line of succession to the British throne. The prince has a long history of serving his nation in the British Armed Forces. However, Prince Harry got the title of Duke of Sussex on May 19, 2018, when he got married to Meghan Markle in a ceremony at St. George's Chapel, Windsor Castle. The net worth of Prince Harry is about $60 million. However, the prince doesn't receive anything from the royal family, but most of his income comes from various ventures, such as stepping into the arena of movies, television, and podcasts, and even launching books like Harry's best-selling Spare, and even signing a Netflix deal which was worth about $100 million. And finally, this 38-year-old prince will be receiving a sum of $15 million next year from a fund set up by the late Queen Elizabeth II. Next on the list is elder brother of Prince Harry, and this is the Duke of Cambridge, William, Prince of Wales. Prince William, who is the eldest son of Prince Charles and the late Princess Diana, who was born on June 21, 1982. And in 2022, after her grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II, passed away, he became the heir apparent as well as the Duke of Cambridge. The net worth of this future king of the UK is around $100 million, and revenue of the prince comes in from different sources, like $25 million of his income comes from the government of the United Kingdom for performing royal duties. Apart from this, he inherits land and properties and an art collection. The best example of his inheritance is this, a 685-year-old crown estate spread in 140,000 acres and is worth more than $1 billion. Apart from this, he also is a head of a $1.2 billion worth of Duchy of Cornwall company, which generates $20 to $25 million for the prince. Next, we have the Duke of Valentinois and head of the Monaco royal family, Prince Albert II. Born on March 14, 1958, this 65-year-old reigning monarch is the son of Prince Rainier III and Princess Grace Kelly. In 2005, Albert II became the head of the state following his father's death and assumed the role of head of the royal family. The net worth of the prince is around $1 billion, and this amount comes from different sources like his real estate portfolio, which includes land in Monaco, France, and this also includes a grand home in Philadelphia, which is worth $754,000. But a big part of his revenue comes from his investments, which includes the Société des Bains de Mer de Monaco, a company that manages the casinos and hotels in Monaco. Apart from this, Prince Albert also inherited one of the largest car collections in the world from his late father, Prince Rainier III, which includes more than 100 classic cars worth around $900 million. And for our number 3, we move to Luxembourg to meet our next royal, and this is Grand Duke Henry of Luxembourg. In 1955, His Royal Highness was born to Jean, who was then the Grand Duke. After his father's abdication in 2000, he ascended to the throne and became the Grand Duke of the nation. As a constitutional monarch, Grand Duke Henry's role is largely ceremonial, but he plays an important role in the economy of Luxembourg as this royal generates huge financial income in the nation. The net worth of Grand Duke Henry is estimated to be around $3 billion, which largely comes from his family's extensive real estate holdings and investments. He owns several properties, such as the $500 million worth Berg Castle and the $800 million worth Grand Ducal Palace. The extensive estates and other 3 castles of the Grand Duke also generate income from tourism and rental, which is estimated to be around $20 million yearly. Next, we have a duke from Liechtenstein, Hans Adam II, Duke of Troppau and Jagerndorf, Count of Reitberg. This 78-year-old prince became the head of the Liechtenstein house and royal family on November 13, 1989, after the death of his father, Prince Franz Joseph II. As the head of the royal family, this duke inherited properties in France, Germany, and other parts of Europe, but the most prominent of them is located in Austria. The estate spans over 2,000 acres and includes a private golf course, hunting grounds, and a luxury hotel. In addition, the prince owns palaces such as the $400 million worth Vaduz Castle and the $700 million City Palace. And when it comes to his net worth, His Highness has a net worth of $4 billion. The source of his wealth is the ownership of the private bank LGT Group, which is one of the largest banks in the country, which has a global presence and manages assets of $285 billion around the world. At number 1, we have British aristocrat and businessman Hugh Richard Louis Grosvenor, the 7th Duke of Westminster. Hugh was born in 1991 to his father, Gerald Cavendish Grosvenor, the 6th Duke of Westminster, and Duchess Natalia Aisha. After his father passed away in 2016, he inherited the title of 7th Duke of Westminster, and his net worth is estimated to be around $11.5 billion. This enormous amount comes from his inherited family wealth and investments. Grosvenor is the controller of Grosvenor Group, a British real estate company with a net worth of $5.4 billion. Apart from this, he also manages the family land, which is around 150,000 acres worth more than $1 billion. The prince also oversees Grosvenor Food and AgTech, which is worth $868 million, and this company invests in food and agriculture. He also has stakes in realty insurances, a dairy farm, and the UK's largest bull stud operation. Thanks for watching the video. Comment down below your favorite part and let us know. Also, press the subscribe button and bell icon for regular updates.